What's cracking with you people? Anansi here, and welcome back to Daxter. And the last one, we remembered, Daxter remembered that, yeah, wasn't there my best friend that I was supposed to be saving? And, he tried to save him, but, we're talking about a heavily armored prisoner transport versus a Vespa run by some stoned out of his mind surfer dude. In this one, we're going to do a job on the tanker because, whiplash and whatnot. Let's get on with it.
Boss says this is a simple job. Collect the gems, cash the check. See you on the flip side, dude.
Okay, I'm not going to lie, I did hit the hover button, but my input got 8, so yeah. Okay. Collect 30 gems from the tanker. So yeah, remember, Osmo gets paid by skull gems. So we gotta collect 30 skull gems and he gets paid. Okay, here we go. And I have to say, this is quite the mood whiplash. You think that the very next mission, would kind of tie into Jack being captured. And I like the fact that the model they use for Jack is the model that they have him in. I probably should have stunned that guy first before I went out there. But I do like the fact that Jack's model, he looks disheveled, he looks beaten down, he looks like they've been torturing him for pretty much the entire time he's been captured. But this is something I do kind of want to bring up with regards to Daxter's story. We don't get a lot with regards to Jack in prison. Now, granted, this is Daxter's story. And you can't really expect a character on Daxter's scale. Okay, he's firing off more. You can't really expect someone on Daxter's scale to really be able to handle the adventures that Jack did. So they had to tone it down in order to make it seem more realistic. And I will admit, I'm kind of talking the there we go. Okay, that's what I have to do. And so they had to make, the metal bugs, which I think is what they're called. I think it's called metal bugs, not metal heads. And I get it. I do. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. Let's do that one. Okay. We're gonna ignore that bug for a little bit because you really can't deal with it right now. There is a way you can deal with it, but I can't deal with it right now. Okay, so let's see here. Gotta do this just right. Also, I apologize for the lag. For some reason, this particular mission, you will drop frames like you would not believe. Also, I missed a previous order back there, so I'm gonna try to grab it. Grab this, grab this, grab this, grab this, grab this, grab this, and there we go. But yeah, no, I know I'm going off topic a little bit here, but this level does, for some reason, lag the game pretty hard. I want to say it's because of all the moving parts and the constant swaying and all the enemies. And, as you clear enemies, yeah, it does get better. That's generally how a lot of games work. You clear processor space and just makes it easier to get done when you can get it done. But yeah, no, they don't really do too much showing Jack's side of this. What Jack's going through. You think that a story revolving around the 2 years between Jack and Daxter arriving in Haven City, and Daxter rescuing Jack from the Baron's grasp. You think that would be a little bit more significant, because admittedly they do kind of skim over it in the. Oh right, as I get to those. Okay. I'm jumping ahead a little bit. You think they would show that off more, but no, we essentially do the same thing that happened in Jak 2. At the very start of Jak 2. We, go through the portal, and we are essentially shell-shocked by what's going on, and what's the move for here? And then we're just kind of time skipped ahead to the start of Jak 2 story. Daxter's pretty much the same way, and granted, I don't think you really could do too much to depict Jak's side of the story, besides, essentially having it take place. Ooh, I got that. Slicer got me pretty hard there. Besides essentially having Daxter creep around the prison facility for the better part of of 2 years of a 2-year cycle, but I don't think that would be an interesting game. So they had to make it play to Daxter's strength. Daxter is a comic relief character. He's not a serious character. He has his moments. I think Jak 3, the very end of Jak 3, if you know what I'm talking about, definitely showed that Daxter can put the Ooh, wow. Okay, I will admit I was not trying to do that, but yeah. It will be mine orb. Okay. Okay, I'll admit I am now officially out of insecticide. How did I do this again? Okay, that's how you do it. Okay. I have to get my bearings right again. But yeah, no, I mean, it's like, you're, for all intents and purposes, just kind of telling a semi-prequel story. Because it's like, okay, Daxter was in a bar, drinking, telling stories to get by, and it's like he did it for 2 years straight, really? Which, considering that the residents of the Jak and Daxter world are considered humans, I wanted to assume that their day cycle is 365. So, yeah, he did that for the better part of like 700 and something days. And you gotta give the guy credit. He knows how to get his Get going. There we go. And you gotta give the guy credit. At least he knows how to keep it going. I mean, he had to hustle for a good couple of years to keep that gig going. But no, it's like, I just feel like they could have done something a little bit more with Jak. But I understand that it would have been difficult to do so. So I guess we can take what we get. I mean, granted, Daxter is still the best side game to come out of Jak, because I don't count Jak X as a side game, especially considering that it's considered a main series game. I mean, when they released the PS4 collection a few years back, they released it as, the main series games, not as the Jak trilogy plus the Jak X side game. It was the Jak and Daxter collection. So, there you go. Anyway, back to this level. Yeah, this level, I'll admit, when I first played it, it took a while. Like, it took a good minute to get through it, because it's just, there's a lot to search. There's a lot to search around. It lags like crazy, and you get your money's worth for this level, but for the life of me, it's one of those levels that, while it's fun to platform through, you don't really remember it too much. At least if you do, it's not for the right reasons, because it's just long, and all you're really doing is collecting gems. Like, that's literally just collecting gems. Like, going back to the previous point, I was just talking about Jack, but it's like, you think after we see Jack, Daxter's next priority would be, okay, how can I get to where my buddy is? But no, we just get this scene drop. It's like, oh yeah, this is an integral game. We should probably show the integralness of the story, and then we're just right back to business as usual. It would have been interesting if they had managed to, just kind of tie it in to that, but you win some, you lose some. There you go. Faceplant. Gotta wonder how Daxter's not dead from all that. It must be like one of those must be like a ferret kind of thing, where it's like a ferret or a cat can drop from a decent height, land on his feet, and pretty much not break a bone. Not an infinite amount of feet, mind you. Don't go out doing that to animals unless you're just a crazy person. In which case, I should have thought that was good. Not gonna lie. At least I know it's not an instant kill. But yeah, no, that's that you think about how much damage that Daxter takes inside these games, that he'd be like, well, I have several broken bones now. Ooh, I am not doing so hot, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let's jump with this. Okay, minus failure. Still failed. Okay. Well, it's like Daxter gets beat up so much inside these games, and comic relief, you gotta add some slapstick in there, because his verbal comedy, you can only it's like the difference between Looney Tunes and Disney, like Mickey Mouse, I should say. Oh, we collected 30 gems, so we pretty much got Osmo paid. Go here. But might as well go ahead and overachieve a little bit, give us a little bonus, you know what I'm saying? A new gene level is available, check it out at Cosmos Shop. Okay, I think this next one shouldn't be too difficult. And we'll check it out when we get done with this. But no, let's see, where's we getting at again? Right. Disney and Looney Tunes. If you ever look at Disney and Looney Tunes, they use the same kind of comedy, the same forms of comedy. A lot of setup and punchline kind of stuff. Some of it's physical comedy, some of it is just. Okay, I don't know how I got hit. I got hit on that last one, but that was definitely a lot better. Oh, this takes me back to Jack and Daxter. Do this right here. Oh. Okay. A little too far to the side there. Okay, now we're good. But yeah, no, it's like, oh come on, I had that. You gonna get it to me, game? Really? Let's see what am I getting hit on there. Okay. 2 things of health. Worse than 8. Let's see, I can't do it. Okay, getting back to the point. I really need to stop going on my little rants here. Where Looney Tunes and Disney focus a lot on comedy to entertain kids. Daxter leans heavily in the Looney Tunes direction, where there's a lot of verbal kind of like innuendo, double entendre, double meaning jokes, whereas his physical comedy doesn't really happen too much, and when it does, it's usually the same joke, just squash and stretch. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So if you grew up with Looney Tunes, you're probably going to find Daxter pretty hilarious. If you grew up with Disney, it's probably going to be 50-50. And I've noticed that too. I've noticed that some people who's like, they grew up, oh, come, break on. Like, depending on what powerhouse, what child animator studio they grew up on, dictates the kind of humor they generally lean towards. And that's not say that both studios don't use a mixture of the two. No, I feel like one leans heavily one way while the other one leans heavily the other way. Which probably explains why the voice actor for all the Looney Tunes characters, you could hear later in his life that, yeah, doing all those voices really took a toll on his throat. And yes, I think with the exception of Granny, the same guy did every single Looney Tunes voice, and it showed later on in life, especially in his Daffy Duck voice. So for some reason, ducks tend to have a rasp, unless you're Scrooge. Unless you're Scrooge McDuck, if you're a duck, you have a rasp in your voice. It's just... Oh, and whoever his freaking opponent was. Now I think about it, a couple of the DuckTales characters didn't have a lot of rasp in their voice. They probably learned a lesson from Daffy, not Daffy, from Donald. Cannot believe I got those two mixed up. Oh, good lord. Yeah, but they probably learned a lesson from Donald. It's like, yeah, no, we're not. I don't want to bleed my vocal cords to make this work. You know what I'm saying? There we go, that's 2. I forget what well, you can always check the total anyway, but let's leave it a mystery for right now, just because... No, wait, you guys probably saw it at the end of the last episode. My bad. But yeah, no, I mean, with the Daxter game, they do play the Daxter strength, and he is a comedy character, so... What's the most outrageous thing you can do with Daxter? Why not make him an exterminator? Brilliant! Which brings us to here. Anyway, enough about that. Okay, come on here. About that, let's get back to the game. Yeah, so I managed to talk for a good 20 minutes about nothing but not even talk about the level. It's like, how do you even do that, man? Well, I guess because the level is pretty self-explanatory. If you played a platformer, you have played one of these levels. It's not really hard. And I think we're at the end now, right? At least we should be getting close. Boom, right there. Faceplant!
What's this? Hey, little fella. Are you lost? I'll get us off this rusty boat. Don't worry, a little, thorax, or whatever it is. You know, I've always wanted my very own sidekick. From now on, I'll call you... Kick. I wonder if you're a boy or a girl. Let me see. So small, it's hard to tell. Hey! Did you just raise your leg? Ew! Bad kick! Bad! From now on, only on the grass, okay? Yuck! All right, let's get out of here.
And like that, we get simultaneously one of the most useful and useless characters in the entire game, which we will get into next time. I've been Anansi, you've been awesome, and I'll catch you later.